closer to me because I'm only going to say this once.
Jackie Reed, inside her story.
Jackie's in Atlanta. Clark, Atlanta. Homecoming is this weekend. Congratulations, Jackie.
Well, thank you. It's an exciting time. It's
All
an
right.
exciting time for the city and the world.
Because of Clark's homecoming.
That's right. That's right. So,
As CAU goes.
Yes,
goes the
yes,
world.
yes. So true. We find a way and we make one. Okay, so Tom, Sybil, and Damon. No surprise that there are black women who ride motorcycles, right? But in TJMS style, here's a little-known black history fact for you. Bessie Stringfield, a black woman, rode across the U.S. by herself on a motorcycle in the 1930s during the Jim Crow era. Here's another one for you. Did you know that in 2019, a group of black women rode their motorcycles to the Essence Festival?
No.
I am going inside her story with Portia Taylor, the editor of Black Girls Ride magazine. Good morning, Portia.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Great. Glad to have you here. So tell us about the ride to the Essence Festival. How many women took part?
Oh, absolutely. We had 240 registered riders from all over the United States meet us in New Orleans for the biggest party of the year. It was amazing.
Now, did y'all meet up from different parts of the country and ride actually into the festival all together, all 200 of you? Because that's a lot of riders.
Yes, ma'am, we did. And what we did was we had riders coming from as far as New York, Florida. We had riders from Detroit, Chicago. I rode from California personally. We all met in New Orleans. And what we did was we created Black Girls Ride Village inside of Essence with our own parking lot, only for motorcyclists. We had police escorts with New Orleans' finest escorting us around the city to make sure we were safe. And it was a beautiful experience.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Y'all are going to do it again in 2020?
Yes, ma'am. We are going back to New Orleans. This will be our third year inside, and we're just excited to put a new face on motorcycling for women who, representation matters, and they can see themselves riding through us, and we are happy to be an inspiration for women who want to ride.
Did you ride alone?
Go ahead.
Did you ride alone, or did you have a crew coming from California with you?
There was actually just myself and one other rider coming from California this year. And we made it. We did the trip in about 4 days. It was hot. It was raining. It was every seasonal condition you can imagine, but it was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Now, I know you all gather as black women. Do you all ever gather with just other women riders? I know there are events across the country.
Absolutely. Actually, I just finished an 18-day ride on a global scale where we did the Women's Rider World Relay, where a baton was passed from London all the way across the country and the world to the United States. We did 18 days from Maine all the way down to Mexico, and that's encompassing all women from all nationalities all over the world.
And apparently a cruise ship or airplane.
We definitely had some flights involved.
Okay, y'all got some submarine motorcycles out here.
How'd your hair hold up with that helmet?
Oh, yeah. You know what? The helmets help out. We need to be safe on the journey, and it's just a lot of fun to ride with sisters from all over the world.
Amen.
Is there a special bonnet for black women who ride?
A bonnet, no bonnet, but you definitely want to keep your hair moisturized.
Go under the helmet. Under the helmet portion.
You know what? There are definitely women who deal with certain types of hair care. As you can imagine, as black women, we span the gamut from natural hair to straightened hair, and hair care is important. I know that we work with Mixed Chicks. They give us a lot of stuff to help our hair stay moisturized, but a bonnet in particular, it all depends on your own personal hair care style.
Yeah, let's not do that.
How long have you been riding motorcycles?
I started riding in 2003. So it would be 16 years now. And I got inspired to ride, believe it or not, from watching Biker Boys. I saw the women in that movie.
How fun.
Yeah, you know, the women in that movie all rode their own motorcycles. And I want to give a shout out to a club here in Los Angeles that inspired me called Total Package. They were actually in the movie, and the leader was played by Lisa Bonet. And it was that image, like I say, representation matters, that allowed me to visualize myself on my own motorcycle.
Have you had any accidents?
Yes, sir, I definitely have. And because I ride safe with all my gear, I'm blessed to say that I have walked away every single time.
How many times?
So I've fallen 3 times myself, and of course, none of them are my fault. It's usually due to unattentive drivers, people who are eating or doing other things when they should be focusing on the road, and they just don't see motorcyclists. So we want to definitely encourage everyone to pay attention and watch out for bikers when we're riding on the road.
Weren't you run off the road recently?
I wasn't run off the road. No, ma'am, that's not accurate. But I've definitely had issues where I have been challenged by some different types of folks down in the South. That happened to me, I want to say 2 years ago, where a group of us was I want to say antagonized by some folks who thought that maybe we shouldn't be as free as we are.
Have you been scared?
I'm never scared because I try to stay prepared. If we can be prepared, we can be safe. That brings the peace of mind that you need to ride safely.
So when you say you have your proper gear, what would that entail?
You always want to ride with a helmet, a proper motorcycle jacket that has armor. You want to ride with pants and knee pads if you can. Always a nice pair of sturdy boots, some gloves, protective eyewear. Those are essentials when you get on your bike.
And a nice vest.
Well, I definitely ride with a vest because I'm a member of Steel Horses Motorcycle Club. Shout out to my club.
Represent.
And we represent. Yeah, exactly. And so that's why you'll see us riding with our colors on throughout the community.
Well, I just want you to know none of that was in my vision. You ain't have on none of those items.
Oh my God, Portia, how many motorcycles have you had, and what do you own now? What do you ride now?
I currently ride an Indian Chieftain Limited. It is the absolute
That
best
is
motorcycle
sweet.
in the world. It is so comfortable, and it took me, all around this country. I've ridden from New York to Los Angeles and back a few times on my bike. I've ridden sport bikes. I've ridden cruisers, but that's my favorite. Shout out to Indian Motorcycle for supporting us and believing in our vision.
What does your mama or your grandmama think about all this?
My mom is a avid supporter. She loves to read my adventures, and because my grandparents are getting up in age, I write my travels and she reads them to them so that they can visualize me on the road. And it really brings us all closer together.
That's awesome.
And where can we find out more about Black Girls Ride?
You can find out more about us at blackgirlsride.com and at Black Girls Ride on all social media outlets.
Jackie, we going to do it?
We're doing it. We're doing
Let's
it.
go.
Jackie, you getting on a motorcycle for real?
Yes.
I want to see that.
Thank you, Portia.
Great. Congratulations.